Amtrak's Empire Builder is one of the most busiest Amtrak routes run by Amtrak. A 2-day cross-country trip between Chicago, Illinois and Seattle, Washington, with stops like Havre, Montana, Fargo, North Dakota, St. Paul, Minnesota, Whitefish, Montana, Duluth, Minnesota, Minot, North Dakota, Portland, Oregon, and Spokane, Washington. Like always, let's get right into the video. On June 10th, 1929, the Great Northern Railway debuted the Empire Builder. It was named in honor of its founder, James J. Hill, who recognized other falling railroads, with the only successful attempt at private funding was the Transcontinental Railroad. It reached the Pacific Northwest in the 19th century, and for this, it was named the Empire Builder. Following World War II, the Great Northern placed new and efficient streamlined diesel locomotives. These diesel locomotives were so successful that the time frame was shortened from 55.5 hours to 45 hours. The schedule allowed riders to see the Cascade Mountains and Glacier National Park. Later, the Great Northern re-equipped it with domes in 1955, but then eventually the Great Northern started using superdomes, which they called Great Domes. Railroads like the Milwaukee Road, the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad, and much more other railroads used these so-called superdomes. A few superdomes actually exist to this day, which are privately owned. In 1970, the Great Northern merged with 3 other closely inflated railroads from the Burlington Northern Railroad. Then, in 1971, Amtrak took over the Empire Builder route. Once Amtrak was in control, it improved its fare box recovery ratio. Then Amtrak shifted the Chicago to St. Paul leg journey to run through Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and traverse Milwaukee road trackage. Amtrak added a Portland section in 1981 with the train splitting in Spokane. The Portland section would traverse the iconic Spokane-Portland-Seattle railway trackage across the Columbia River, while the other train would travel all the way to Seattle. Once their duties are all done, both trains head eastbound back to Spokane, where the train will head back to Chicago. Portland isn't just home to the Empire Builder, but it's also home to the Coast Starlight, Amtrak Cascade commuter trains, and that's really it. In 2005, Amtrak upgraded service to include a wine and cheese tasting in the diner car for sleeping car passengers and free newspapers in the morning. Amtrak's Inspector General eliminated some of these services in 2013 as part of a cost-saving measure. During summer months, on portions of the route, Trails and Rails volunteer guides gave commentary on points of visual and historic interest that can be viewed from the train. After running daily for the better part of a century, along with most of Amtrak's other long-distance routes, on October 12, 2020, Amtrak's long-distance trains were reduced due to the COVID-19 pandemic. For most of the fall and winter of 2020 and 2021, trains departed Chicago on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and departed Seattle or Portland on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. However, in March 2021, Amtrak announced that the train would return to its pre-pandemic daily schedule on May 24th, 2021. On February 8th, 2022, Amtrak Seaman ALC 42 Charger locomotives were the first locomotives in revenue service to operate on the Empire Builder. Only a few accidents have happened on the Empire Builder. The first crash was on August 9th, 1945, which was called the Michigan, North Dakota train wreck, with Great Northern 484 number 2584, which is on display at Havre, Montana. The second crash being the 1966 Great Northern Bulow collision that took place on March 7th, 1966 near Chester, Montana. And the most recent one being the 2021 Montana train derailment that took place on September 25th, 2021. As of March of 2025, the Empire Builder still runs to this day. This has been Southern Pacific 4449 Productions. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.